I'm thinking of maybe getting a haircut or cutting my hair so it grows longer. And also, my screen is really dirty. But it's day 4 and also day 4 of thoughts and just things like that. So, yeah. Oh, maybe day 5. But, basically, I have basically having thoughts about myself. I realized that my life could have been better if I just focused on school and like if I just maybe I was like unconscious through the whole thing of like my kid life of basically learning school, and basically I had the same immaturity as now, and I was just had the same personality type and knew everything I should have known as an adult with imagination of just the complexities of the world and stuff like that with curiosity, and then basically letting it out until basically my thoughts were basically stayed in until it was my own thoughts, until I let it out and then it became nothing. But maybe if I paid more attention in school, maybe I could have basically not paid more attention, but was really there and basically made something. I had I had good grades, but basically just made something of something. Because when I was like from 12 to 19, I was good because I was like self-aware. And that basically I was able to basically make friends, make girlfriends, make girlfriends, make friends, basically make friends, live a life, experience stuff like smoking, after school friends, work, school stuff, learning, and basic stuff that you get. But basically, I just got the basics of everything in like 3rd and 2nd grade of just everything, and then afterwards it was like 5th grade graduation, and then just 7th grade. But yeah. But maybe it has to do with something. Maybe I lost my memory in 6th grade or something. Or maybe just not realizing I was moving or something. But basically, it was more of like maybe I could have learned everything in school, or maybe could have been ahead, and that basically I could have learned everything that I knew now, in that basically in a time space, where I would have a maturity of what I had here at an adulthood. But maturity is definitely good, in that basically you're dealing with life and stuff like that. I did a good set level, but in elementary school, I was more of a blissful, just like, I will do this and just live life without self-reflecting and just kind of just like, oh, I am just a character of, of basically what they make me, but not in the sense that I didn't know anything, in the sense that basically I was not putting myself to be anything in the first place and just learning stuff about the world that was the world. And maybe I could have been better. Or maybe if I didn't basically do bad things like smoke and masturbate, but I don't want to be vulgar or anything, but maybe if I did that, then basically the world would make more sense, in that basically I would have basically understood that basically, or maybe like smoke and masturbate, and then instead just basically had a high frequency, and then like didn't like break up with anyone, or basically just like also had sex, XX like a bunch of times at all those things. Maybe, and then didn't break anything, and then just basically went to the schools I went to for school and stuff like that to basically say I did that. Maybe my life would have been that I basically would have been smart, but I'm not smart, but I'm not smart, but I'm also not smart. So I'm smart, but I'm also not smart. I'm just a person. But yeah, if I made my life better, my life was just pretty good. I would there's nothing to say about that, and like my overdosing like 1 or 2 times and swimming across the river was fine. But basically, just those experiences, and I realized that I'm kind of a loser, in that basically maybe my friends, like, not in the sense, but I've never done anything of myself that was my own self, of what I could gain for myself. And like what I am kind of just like a person who's always trying to be the best, but there's no sense of story or character that is against something that basically makes sense, in that it is basically saying I am the one and only one who can be the one, because I'm not about that, because I'm more basically making my life better, but I didn't make it better for basically I'm not better than anyone else, and that I'm just like anyone else, and the only one I can be better for is for myself, and the only thing I can do for myself is be right. But I realize I'm a loser because I am not perfect, and I'm not great, and I should have just been the perfect self in every way. And I would say, besides my bad habits like smoking and masturbating, and that's like those things, I lived a pretty good life, and maybe like accidentally breaking my house once, but that time, I lived a pretty good life, but it wasn't just as much as I could, because basically I could go so far as I could go, but only if I would start. Then I could make something of what I could make. But would that really be anything unless I make it for myself or for the others from myself of what I could make? And would it just be like anyone else, or would it be my own thing? That's what I always wanted to think. That's what I kind of like had my curiosity of being enjoyed, that I was something fun while I played video games, because that's like my entertainment. Of that, basically, I'm not like everyone else, but I can have my own creativity, where it opens people's mind and my own mind about how intellectually smart I am. And I just been talking to friends, and also been saying, hey, I was just wondering if we want to meet up, and some of us meet up and stuff. But they also said, well, basically we don't know if we want to they suggested like, don't basically hold on to friends and stuff if they don't want to hang out, because that's either basically on them, basically they're just not a good person, or it's on you that basically you did something wrong and you have to figure that out. But I kind of get confused, because figuring things out is like figuring things out. You have to know someone to figure things out. And just basically not talking to someone is basically saying they're just like a bad person and you shouldn't go there because they're not the right way. But I kind of judge them based on what they have done. And I feel like it's more of not a forgiving thing, but more of a basically we have to make it in a eco-socialism. Basically, we have to be a group of a foundation so that we could basically make something of the group, because, I mean, not society. We have to live it in society because we have to live society because we're all the same, and we just got to live in a society that makes something of it, even if we're not perfect, because all we have is each other, and we gotta make it for each other, because we can't handle it, we can't live without someone else for something, so we gotta make it for each other, because we need to survive, in the sense. That could have been worded better, but, like, we gotta help each other, because we gotta survive, even if we don't like each other, because that's what living is. That's kind of what I was trying to say. And, yeah, my other topic that I was trying to remember was I feel like my video, like, I don't know, I'm gonna go here to this topic. I feel like my videos aren't that great, and I haven't been on the greatness of what something is to be great. And basically, if you were to be great, then you would be great, and that, like, life shouldn't be a struggle. You should just have fun, and basically, even if it's a shitty ass person you want to play as, well, basically play it like it's a game where you're just kids, and make sure you both understand it, or basically you can basically be like a show character, and the rules around you where you're the right person, and you're both the right person either way, but don't be an asshole about it. Be someone who can be a story character that makes something fun, and maybe get more perspectives, because I don't have that many perspectives of the rival and concept. But basically be fun, like it's a sense of competition and good sportsmanship, of just like it's fun and it's good and it's quality good goals of basically making something that matters in the world, that basically means you did something that you deserve to get something back, you know, or you gained something from the experience. And yeah, I don't know, I sound like a parent here, I guess, but I don't know, I'm doing those stuff too much where basically I want to basically do it all the time, or basically it's just random habits in my brain, or basically in the chemicals in my body. So I just gotta basically have self-control, and I just want to stay healthy. So yeah, I want to start drinking soda right now, but I haven't been drinking soda lately. I don't know why. But I feel like I would just be a kid who would like candy and stuff. But maybe candy's not healthy, but like chips are healthy. Some chips are healthy, so eat the chips that are healthy. Like some Lay's chips are super healthy. Or they just have the mineral salt and then basically just deep fried potatoes. I don't know what type of fried oil, but if they use vegetable oil, it's pretty fine. It can be basically bad for like bad for something, but it'll be pretty fine. So yeah. That was pretty much it. And also to the viewers, thank you for watching my views. And if you're not watching my views, please share. I mean, if you're new to the content, please share my videos so I can get more known out there. And leave a comment and maybe leave a like. But share my videos out to people and try to make it just like wherever social media is in social media. And I think social media could go far if we could just use it where basically it's a constant feed where there's a group of people that make a foundation of something that they make of each other, where basically someone can work for themselves, but they can work with other communities as a group that can go far out, because with technology, we have the whole world to our hands, and we can do anything, or at least the whole thing of where we are at. Because some places don't allow technology, or some people don't have technology, but some people just don't like to, and they just keep it controlled and stuff like that. But it can be controlled, and then basically it can basically allow us to basically have a wide range of topics where basically his opinions can go far and they can go more, and you can have your own research and make more friends and basically go farther than we can expand much more. And you can have more reaches and stuff like that. And hopefully it doesn't fall society where basically you look at one way of thinking and you get faded into basically a certain category of groups of people where you can't see both sides of things. But if you can see the whole spirit of sides of things, then yeah. I'm more of a basically delusional, like, where am I? I'm not anyone. I'm just here on the internet just doing whatever, and I can't do the things, but I can use it as a telephone and communicate with people. But at the same time, there's some people who just don't want to talk to me. Yeah, those were some of my thoughts and my stuff, and I was a little stressful that my thoughts were basically not the same as basically my thoughts were like I was not knowing what I was doing in the world, because I know I'm gonna die, and basically I know the world sucks, but maybe I could understand from the world sucking, and also maybe life sucking, and other thoughts like that, or just basically how no one cares about me, or basically no one can hear my thoughts, or there's a lot of problems in the world, and also how I'm sad. But basically, those thoughts were basically feeling of sadness in my brain. Like, you know when there's pleasure? Like, you know when... Okay, like to say this about... Like, when you smoke weed and you feel that weird tingly feeling in your body, like your lungs are filled with smoke, but your body feels like it's flopped in a bed smoke. It's like that. But basically, it's like taking a shower where it's tingly warm. And basically, it's like a good one in your brain, where it feels like you know it's enjoyable, like a yellow, bright smile. I mean, not yellow, like white teeth smile, but yellow, bright sun smile. And like that, but dark blue of sadness. And that was like what it was. And at point, I hallucinated sometimes and was basically like thinking I could control reality and stuff, which was not good. But at some point, I kind of went a little weird about basically wanting to have it back. But I tried to accept my thoughts that basically they're just there, and basically even if I did that, there's not much to basically being like so perfectly on point about basically having a stream of constant thoughts that basically makes my day pleasurable, because I can entertain myself even though I'm sad, but I like it because it can express myself of how I'm feeling. It's more of basically your thoughts and your emotions are two things, and your thoughts are there so you can understand what you're trying to understand, and it's good to self-reflect of who you are or what life is to see what life is. So yeah, and the emotion thing is kind of, it's just like words in my head, but you know, it kind of feels like a quiet voice that's like, hey, listen, but it's not like a happy feeling, it's just like a little white, hey, listen, like a white light, hey, listen, of like holiness, of hey, listen, but basically it's just my words and thoughts and stuff like that. and maybe it can feel a little like, hey, listen, like sadness or happiness. But yeah, it really depends and stuff. And then I would just socialize or focus on doing work and stuff. So yeah. I went to BCC, I'm working on my schedule, I'm trying to verify my account, I talked to someone, I was looking for someone who was specifically I was going to talk to, I was planning on flirting with them, but basically it does not look like the same person, which was confusing because I did not know why she was the same person that was the same person, because it wasn't the same person and they looked older and they also looked bigger, which was confusing because I feel like they were trying to not take their place, but it would be annoying if they took their place because they were not the same person physically, and also they kind of said they met me in the same place, that they remembered me, but I might have met them both at the same time and got confused which one was which was okay. But basically I was trying to hope for them to meet them. And I was really thinking of just meeting them and stuff like that. But I was thinking if that doesn't go well, I would just go to real life Tinder and just ask some people if they would like to match or if they would like to date, and that basically we would like to date, or if they're open to dating and if they're single, so that we can meet up and just be there in social events. And I hope they don't say no, but basically I just basically say basically say that, basically get the number, and I hope that it goes well and that basically I can meet them. But I hope they don't say no, because the first like three girls I asked, I got their number, they asked for my number, and then they asked for my number because they want to, and then the second one gave me their Insta, and then basically one else gave me my number, but basically I lost it in my jacket and it wasn't going to go well. And then after that it kind of went south, where basically they were just saying no and stuff like that, or they have a boyfriend and stuff like that. But I hope it goes well better, or basically I can ask for the number, because I don't know why they would say no if I got the number just to hang out and stuff, where they could just do that easily. But it's whatever in general. In my Tinder, I don't want to pay for Tinder because apparently they have to pay for Tinder, which is annoying, or just dating apps, which isn't great, and I'm just not great at dating apps somehow, at something so easily. And I don't know, maybe it's the world and stuff like that. But yeah, thanks for watching, and please leave a like if you liked and enjoy and viewed, and basically thank you for viewing my videos. Share if you like, and comment if you want to say something. And I have more thoughts, but I was gonna maybe teach a lesson, but this was more about me because I wanted to talk more about me in my later videos. If there was something you wanted me to talk about, to have thoughts about, then that's good. But maybe I'll talk about basically my theories of the world, of like consciousness, and also basically just other theories. But I have to write it down and stuff because I kind of lost it just in the moment, screaming at my phone, like the robot on my phone, just like, what the hell, you're not working, and then basically just screaming my theories out until it worked. It didn't really work, but it went okay, because it got my thoughts out into basically what I was saying, and like the possibilities of the what ifs of what I could do. And it was like, if consciousness could see consciousness, and that basically everything was consciousness, consciousness is consciousness, and the consciousness in consciousness is conscious, and a rock can be conscious, a human can be conscious, but everything in the world is the thing that basically on the ground is conscious. And also, basically, if you could have consciousness, what if basically you can call your consciousness with consciousness? And basically, if you have consciousness, what if you can experience the moment in just a memory of consciousness, of basically a moment in a second, of basically something you did just in a moment, of everything you just experienced. Like you just did a whole day, and then you experienced it in a moment, and then basically you can remember the whole thing consciously. Wouldn't that be amazing? That would be great. And stuff like that. But I would have to write that down. But I'm not going to do that. But I'm not sure I'm going to do that, because that would make me nervous and stuff like that. But yeah, thanks and peace out. Alright, I hope you enjoy my other videos.